Good afternoon. I'm Tim Baruti, City Manager, City of Fredericksburg. We've been coming to you every day, weekdays, for several weeks now, offering updates on our actions, our services, and our efforts related to the current healthcare crisis. We certainly do appreciate your continued engagement. It's important that we all stay connected. Today we'll hear from Vice Mayor Withers. He's leading by example by videotaping from home a message to the community. We'll also again hear from Chief Jones. Before I turn it over to them, I'd like to offer a quick update on several actions being taken or planned. First, today my counterparts in Stafford, King George, Caroline counties, and I executed a broad mutual aid agreement. This agreement, sanctioned under state code, allows us in times of crisis to pull on each other's resources, both in equipment and in personnel. In signing this agreement, we've effectively set ourselves up to quickly regionalize our services if needed. From IT to field crews, building officials, or financial staff, this agreement allows us to quickly shuffle resources as needed. In simple terms, if I need IT professionals, I can call Stafford and ask for personnel. And if they are not needed immediately in Stafford, they can be temporarily assigned to us. Agreements have long been in place for public safety, and those have served us well. So again, this action just broadens our ability to leverage local government resources across jurisdictional boundaries. I do appreciate my counterparts and their cooperation in this endeavor. It is needed in this time of crisis. Secondly, we have refined staffing levels during this crisis to 4 tiers of defined actions. Tier 1 is simply normal operations. We moved to Tier 2 several weeks ago and anticipate we remain there at least into next week. And that could change at any moment, and so we are prepared to move to Tier 3 if needed. Again, in very simple terms, the difference between the current tier, Tier 2, with rolling shifts and city buildings being closed to the public, and Tier 3, is that Tier 3 staff would largely vacate city buildings, and our now established telework team of roughly 90 employees would work from home. This telework team can maintain city government with our secure access to our systems in cooperation with our deemed essential employees. Tier 4 would be an all-hands-on emergency operations center action with only essential government functions taking place. Lastly, I'd like to tell you that we're working daily, of course, to restructure the current budget and recommended budget we offered for next fiscal year. As we move from this health crisis near term, we'll be moving into a more fully addressing the financial crisis that it leaves in its wake. We'll be taking drastic measures to maintain core government services while likely pushing many wants to future budgets. Please know that we are in daily contact with the mayor and council as we work through these matters, and we'll begin to have more public dialogue on budget this month and certainly into May. In closing, I just simply want to remind folks to adhere to Governor Northam's stay-at-home order. It's very important that we continue to do everything we can to sort of flatten the curve, as they say. Please do your part. Now I'd like to turn it over to Vice Mayor Withers with a message from home, and then ask Mike to update us on recent numbers. Be safe.
Good morning. I'm Billy Withers coming to you from home. I'm sure most of you are in the same position I am, having to stay at home and work. I'm coming to you with some messages from me as a member of the City Council concerning some of the things that we're doing and some of the things that we're going to have to be doing. First of all, I'd like to especially thank our manager and his staff for all the work that they're doing, our IT department for allowing us to do virtual meetings, our attorney and her staff for getting us through this thing. And I think you know, we are planning a special meeting on April the 7th to discuss things that we can do as far as economic development, economic aid to some of our businesses, knowing that it's not enough, but knowing that it's what we can do right now. We're also going to be discussing different things that we can do. We're also going to be talking about tax relief policies that we can place as far as deferring some of our taxes from the due date to 3 months out. Some of those we can do, some we don't have any control over. So again, this council and this staff is doing what it can do to help, knowing that it's limited. We are also having a regular meeting on April the 14th that is going to be a virtual meeting. And again, thanks to IT and the staff and the city attorney for allowing us to do that. I'd like to do one other thing. I'd like to call on all of our citizens to do what they can. Some of us can afford to do a little more than others. Where you can, support your local restaurants. Order out, leave a good tip. Also, some of our businesses have online ordering. If you need something, check our local businesses and see if you can actually order those things through them. I don't know whether you read the paper this morning, but there was an article about relief in some of our organizations. I think the Community Foundation is doing what they can for relief. United Way is helping with Alice folks. Alma and I are going to make 2 small donations. It's not huge, but I hope it'll help to both of those organizations for Alice Relief and for the Community Foundation for Business Relief. And I'm asking those of you that can afford to do that, consider it. It doesn't have to be large, but if a large number of us can do a small amount, then it'll help. And lastly, stay at home, keep your social distancing, and be safe. Thank you very much.
Hi, Mike Jones, Fire Chief, City of Fredericksburg. Let's bring you the latest numbers on the COVID-19 crisis and talk about other things that are going on in the City of Fredericksburg that might interest you. First, as of noon today, there are almost 250,000 cases of COVID-19 in the United States, and unfortunately, we've suffered about 6,000 deaths. In Virginia alone, we've tested over 19,000 people, and we now have over 2,000 positive cases in the Commonwealth. 312 of those have been hospitalized, and unfortunately, 46 have passed away. In the local health district, our cases have increased to 60, with Stafford having 30, Spotsylvania 15. There are 7 each in Fredericksburg and King George, and Caroline has now had their first reported case of COVID-19. City operations continue fully on a reduced footprint, and we are having people here at City Hall working, as well as the other buildings, but there is no public access. Essential services continue on. Let's talk a little bit, since it's going to be a nice weekend, about some of the things that you're going to do to maybe get some exercise, whether it be around your yard or your house or places like that. But the Canal Path and Heritage Trail have been very busy the last few weeks. We have a new interactive map to help you find nearby hiking and walking trails. Some are paved, some are not. Located all over the city, this will help you continue to be outside while helping us all by keeping a safe distance from each other. Look for the map online at www.fredericksburgva.gov. Did you know the City of Fredericksburg has more than 100 miles of sidewalks? If you can't make it to a park or trail, there's still plenty of walkways to get you outside so you can stay active. Please be cautious and courteous to other trail users. Make room to allow others to pass. And most importantly, please remember to follow social distancing guidelines, at least 6 feet between walkers, for the safety of yourself and those around you. Stay safe again. This map is online at www.fredericksburgva.gov. Search for parks and trails and suggested walks. So it's many of you are home, staying home, which is a good thing. You're probably cooking more than you maybe have in the past. Let's talk about some kitchen safety rules. First and foremost, do not leave cooking unattended. Never put water on a grease fire. That can cause the fire to spread. Use a lid or a cookie sheet to smother the fire if you can do so safely. Do not attempt to move the pot or pan that is burning. If you have a fire extinguisher, make sure it is safe to use in the kitchen, and by all means, please make sure you know how to use it. Ensure everyone is out of the home and call 911 from outside the home. Once outside, stay outside and wait for the fire department. And please test your smoke alarms. They can save your life. Many people are using hand sanitizer these days, and that's great. It doesn't take the place of soap and water, which is best, but hand sanitizer is a recognized option that you have out there. But realize hand sanitizer can also have some detriments, and the fact that at least most of the stuff that you're using is probably 60% alcohol or better. Make sure you have dried your hands correctly and appropriately before you get around any hot objects. If not, the alcohol fumes could possibly cause fire from a hot burner or a lighter or open flames. So be very careful with that if you're using hand sanitizers. You must wait until your hands and arms are dry for a period of time before coming close to these hot objects. Please be careful. Again, we hope you have a good weekend, and we'll be back reporting again on Monday. Look for our written reports on social media on Saturday and Sunday. Have a good day. Thank you.